And could Jadon Sancho finally be on his way out of Old Trafford? A Serie A club has made a bid to sign him permanently. Hi, welcome back to the Transfer Show. Right, what should we call them? We're going to call them the Fire Sale 5. Right, Mark? Developments on Jadon Sancho today. What's happened?
Yes, significant developments with regards to this one. We know that Manchester United want to get rid of these 5 players. Jadon Sancho into the last year of his Old Trafford contract, and there has been an offer lodged to Manchester United from Serie A side Roma. Manchester United are currently considering the offer and deciding what they want to do. We know that there is interest from Borussia Dortmund as well, and we know that Jadon Sancho is on big money, so therefore, A, they want to get rid of him, they want to try and recoup back as much as they possibly can. He's on big wages as well, so that is one of the issues there. But yeah, that's the latest with regards to Jadon Sancho.
And what about the others? Any movement on any of the other 4?
No, Anthony, £80 million worth of investment, still at Manchester United. Again, another one on big wages, on loan at Real Betis. No formal offers as of yet. No other clubs really at the table, but Real Betis would love to take him. However, unfortunately, they can't afford him at the moment. We know that Rasmus Højlund, another player of interest to a number of Serie A clubs, AC Milan at the ones at the minute that are closest to potentially getting a deal done. His stance, I want to stay at Old Trafford, I want to play, I want to prove myself, and I want to get myself in that team. But at the minute, still talks ongoing. Looks like a lack of minutes is going to be his issue, so he's almost being forced, out of the club. Garnacho, Chelsea, it feels like it's only a matter of time before this one happens, but Chelsea just have to be a little bit clever with how much they spend compared to how much they receive and sell players on for. But we know that the talks continue. Tyrell Malacia, unfortunately, Tyrell Malacia fans, I can't say anything positive. There will be interest. It'll end up going somewhere, but at the minute, we don't know of anyone at the table.
I'm just hearing something from the producer that Hojlund is open to a move to Milan now. We're just hearing that. Sky Italy reporting that, which is interesting.
Yeah,
so well, he's read the runes.
He's read the room. He's not going to get any game time. When you don't play minutes, for example, Jack Grealish not going to the Club World Cup for Man City, that's them basically saying, thanks, Jack, but we don't want you. Go and explore your options. Same for him. Lack of game time over the course of pre-season, and maybe recently he's decided, look, I just need to go and play games. That's going to be key.
I've made an offer to sign the forward for around £20 million. Surely, Mark, this would be something that will tempt Manchester United.
Well, he's one of the players that Manchester United want to sell. He's into the last year of his contract. He's on massive wages as well, so that's another drain on the club system, particularly when they're conscious of PSR. So therefore, you'd imagine this is the type of offer that will get Manchester United to the table. They know they're going to have to take a hit on what they paid Borussia Dortmund for him, around £73 million. So, it was a big deal back then. Safe to say this hasn't really worked out. Roma offering, like you say, £20 million. But getting him off the wage bill is probably worth another £15 to £20 million this year as well. So it could be a deal that happens. We know that Borussia Dortmund were also interested in taking him, but as of yet, there's been no formal offer to Manchester United. I get the feeling this one might happen. Players open to moving to Serie A. He's had some good experiences in the Bundesliga. Didn't work out at Chelsea last season. It feels like it's only a matter of time now before Jadon Sancho is no longer a Manchester United player.
And Sancho not the only United player that they're hoping to move on in this window, the other being Rasmus Højlund. And Mark, he said, and he has said over the course of the summer, that he wants to stay and fight for his place at Manchester United, but it feels like his stance may have just shifted now.
Yeah, this was news that came out whilst we were on air yesterday, actually, from our colleague Sky in Italy, who said that AC Milan had positive contact with his representatives, and whilst his stance had been, I want to stay at Manchester United, I want to earn my place in that team, and I want to prove to the Old Trafford fans I am one of the best strikers I can possibly be, it hasn't worked out. But now the stance is softening. The minutes have not been as frequent in pre-season as he would have hoped for, and I'm presuming at some stage Ruben Amorim has said, look, Rasmus, thanks so much, but you're not going to get game time. Benjamin Sesko is our number one striker. You might be coming off the bench, if at all. So actually, my best advice is go and play, go and develop. You had a really successful spell in Serie A at Atalanta before you joined us. Go back there, continue to prove yourself, continue to score goals, continue to develop. So it feels like now that stance for the player has probably changed, knowing that his days at Manchester United are over. There's all sorts of discussions happening with regards to permanent loans with options and obligations. But again, he's another one that feels like he's edging towards the exit at the Theatre of Dreams.
And are you expecting Benjamin Šeško to be a significant upgrade on Rasmus Højlund?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's shown consistently over the last 2 seasons that he can lead the line and score goals in the Bundesliga. And I guess this is the point. Look, Man United really need this signing to work. There is no other option than it works for them, because they've spent a lot on him. He's taken a bit of leap of faith in joining them as well. And he's kind of trusted them with his future, because he said, I trust you to make me into one of the best strikers, or help me become one of the best strikers in the world. United have not been brilliant at developing players, at helping them find that extra level in recent years. So there's, I think, a leap of faith for both player and club. I mean, what we've seen with Šeško, and of course, because he came through Salzburg, he was compared a lot to Erling Haaland. They're similar physically. They're big guys who've got a turn of pace that you wouldn't expect to look at them. But they're very different sort of players. Like, Šeško never really hinted at being the sort of goal scorer, the sort of fox in the box, the extraordinaire that Hojlund was. But Hojlund never really had his all-round game, which has improved actually while he's been in Germany. Now, I've been quite surprised by the amount of goals that he has scored in Germany, even though he had a couple of little droughts which brought his overall total down last season. He's still got nigh on 20 goals in all competitions for both of those seasons. I think it is a question of how much United can develop him. I think, unfortunately, Rasmus Højlund has been, I think he was bought too soon, a little bit like Joshua Zirkzee, and really, I guess Šeško is that little bit further down the line. But by the same token, you're looking at a little bit like when Alexander Isak arrived in the Premier League. There's someone who's already proven at the top level, but can hit that next level, and that's the aim for Šeško, isn't it? To become one of the absolute best in the Premier League, which he's got the ability to do. It's just, is United the right place for him to do it? A lot on it for both of them.
In one of the most dramatic transfer sagas of the summer, Manchester United's £200 million spending storm under Amorim is shaking the very foundations of Old Trafford. With Matheus Cunha, Brian Mbeumo, and Benjamin Šeško already through the doors, United's new-look attack is causing both excitement and heartbreak. Behind the scenes, the club is quietly plotting to balance the books, and that could mean saying goodbye to some of their brightest stars. Alejandro Garnacho, Jadon Sancho, Antony, and yes, even fan favorite Rasmus Højlund are all on the chopping block before the transfer deadline slams shut. But the biggest shock, United's ruthless message to Hojlund: "You're behind Šeško in our pecking order. It's best if you leave." For the 22-year-old Danish striker, the words hit like a thunderbolt. Just a year ago, he was hailed as the future of United's attack. Now, he's fighting for his place in a team he still loves. Sources say Hojlund is desperate to prove himself for at least one more season. But for the first time, he's starting to think the unthinkable. A move away from the theatre of dreams. The transfer vultures are already circling. AC Milan are preparing a bold offer, a loan deal with an option to buy, in a bid to bring the young striker to the San Siro. And while no decision has been made, Fabrizio Romano reports that Hojlund has begun to seriously weigh up the possibility. This is more than just a transfer story. It's the battle of a young star's pride, ambition, and loyalty in the face of cold business decisions. Will Rasmus stay and fight for his place against all odds? Or will United's £200 revolution force him to pack his bags and start a new chapter in Italy? The clock is ticking, the window is closing, and Hojlund's future could change in the blink of an eye. Stay tuned, this could be the transfer twist of the summer.